Hey everyone, Blitzball Champ is back here with a brand new video here on YouTube. Um, in this video, I really wanted to spend some time talking pro wrestling. Got quite a lot of things that have happened and a lot of things that's upcoming. So I kind of wanted to just set aside some time to really just kind of talk about some things going on in the pro wrestling world. There's a good handful. So, want to go ahead and get started. So, of course, one thing that I wanted to start out with, let's start off with WWE. Um, Finally, fifth time was the charm. Io Shirai has finally won the NXT Women's Championship by defeating Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match, which was the main event at NXT Takeover in Your House. That was this past Sunday. Um, Finally, I'm so glad that it happened and that Io got the victory. Although, she got the pin on Rhea Ripley after hitting a moonsault on Rhea Ripley while she was trapped in the figure eight. So I know a lot of people, are talking, with the fact that Charlotte didn't get pinned, which is true. And then all of a sudden, Charlotte's back on Raw and is wrestling Asuka. And I have no doubt in my mind that it looks like they're going to renew the Charlotte Asuka feud, and she's going to be put into Raw Women's Championship picture of some sort. Whether she wins or not remains to be seen, but she will at least be in the title picture. Right? I think that's obvious enough with what they're doing with her, because I don't see Asuka losing to Nia at Backlash, but yeah, I'm just really thankful. So that means Io Shirai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane have all tasted NXT Women's Championship gold. So that's cool. My three empresses finally all have tasted that championship belt. So I really hope that Io Shirai has a good title run, and they can really start building up some other of the women's division in NXT, especially now that the title is off of Charlotte. But I'm really hoping to see, Candice LeRae in the picture, Mia Yim in the picture, Dakota Kai, start building up some talent like Tegan Knox, Shotzi Blackheart, which they just announced after this recent episode of NXT. So apparently, the winners of the triple threat women's tag team match at Backlash, with Sasha Banks and Bayley defending against the Iconics and Cross and Bliss, the winner of that match will defend the tag titles on NXT next week against Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Knox. So I think that's cool. This will mark the second time that these WWE Women's Tag Team titles will be defended on NXT soil. Of course, the first time that it happened was when Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, were champions, and they defended against Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai back when they were partners. So I think this is great. It's good that they're gonna have the belts defended on NXT again. I really would have liked to have seen that done the first time when Sasha and Bayley were tag team champs the first time, especially considering they made an appearance on NXT. Not only that, they had also appeared in house shows in NXT with the tag titles. So I really hope to see more of that. I really do. The perfect scenario, if you ask me, is those belts get defended on each brand, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK. Why not? You know? But, slowly but surely, and the thing is they gotta build up more tag teams anyway. So going across each brand is gonna be very necessary. It's gonna be very necessary. But another perfect scenario for me would be, okay, so you have Asuka as Raw Women's Champion. You have Io Shirai as NXT Women's Champion. How about we do a little trade and send Kairi Sane to SmackDown and have her go for the SmackDown Women's Champion? So that would be like the perfect scenario for me. But, I doubt that's going to happen. But which leads me to my next point. The women's division in general. Like, we see Charlotte on all three brands. We now have Bayley go straps. SmackDown Women's Champion and now two-time Women's Tag Team Champion with Sasha. We have Asuka, Raw Women's Champion. I really, really hope they start to really use a lot of the other talent that they really haven't been using. For example, Bianca Belair. Now, I understand, with the EXO crisis going on, but I really hope there's a sense of like urgency to really, when the time comes, to really start pushing talent like Bianca Belair. Ruby Riott, she hadn't not that long ago just returned. Need to start bringing her up. They've been dabbling with Liv Morgan, so that's good. But I feel like they need to really, Ruby Riott, Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler. Like, Shayna Baszler's been kind of out of the picture for a bit, especially after, having that Elimination Chamber run, and then, was that WrestleMania? So I really hope that talent like that really gets some attention. It's cool that they got the feud with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. It's good that we're seeing some Lacey Evans, but like, can we get Carmella back in the picture? Can we get Naomi back in the picture? Can we get, Dana Brooke, Tamina? Tamina got pretty much back in obscurity after her title match. So, like, I mean, I understand you have your big stars, but really, like, folks are getting tired of seeing the same, like, 3, 4 people always in the mix. We gotta start seeing some of the newer faces really get thrown into the mix. Like, Bianca Belair, I think, would be perfect, to really insert into the mix. I mean, it's good that the Iconics are back, so, at least we get to see them. So, I mean, there's some things going. Kairi Sane, like, which I don't know how things are going to go with her contract situation, but Kairi Sane, I mean, she got fed to Nia Jax 3 times. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I mean, we're talking about the same Kairi Sane that's beaten Shayna Baszler twice. It's like, it's ridiculous. Really ridiculous. But, I really would like to see more happen with the women's division, especially on NXT, which I appreciate that Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart are getting tag team title shots. I think that's great. We're seeing a lot of Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, seeing some Candice LeRae. Hopefully we get Xia Li back in the picture. Aaliyah, Chelsea Green, has been making some noise. Casey Catanzaro's back in the picture. So I really like seeing a lot more of the ladies being used. I definitely just hope that they really build more and more on that, because it's time to get some fresh faces into the title picture. Ben Balor calling out Keith Lee after his victory over Cameron Grimes. That I am very pumped about. I would love to see Finn Balor and Keith Lee go at it. I think that's takeover worthy right there. And I think he's a big threat to Keith Lee's North American Championship, especially considering Finn Balor's never won that title. He's never won that title. So, I mean, I think that would be a perfect feud, which I already know he's already in the feud with Johnny Gargano, along with Mia Yim, but I think Keith Lee, Finn Balor, I think that'd be perfect. I think that would be perfect. Um, but yeah, I'm just really happy that Io Shirai finally got the title because there was a lot of question on whether she was finally going to get the title or whether she was going to eventually leave because Stardom showed a lot of interest in trying to bring back Io Shirai and Kairi Sane and was going to pay them well, but which might still happen with Kairi Sane, but now not so much for Io Shirai now that she's champion. So, so I mean, I don't know. It just made me wonder for so long. But with Io Shirai winning the title, that pretty much answers that question. Um, the Intercontinental Championship: Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. I'm really hoping that they get plenty of time. I mean, realistically, it should be main event worthy on SmackDown for this Friday, but I really hope they get plenty of time. And honestly, I expect AJ Styles to win, mainly because he's never won the Intercontinental title before, so I feel like that's pretty much a given. But I expect a good long match. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm actually really excited for that match. For these two, as long as they do it right and give them plenty of time to just be themselves and wrestle, this could be an excellent match that we all get a chance to see on Friday Night SmackDown. Um, Another thing that really brought my attention was this new stable on NXT. El Hijo del Fantasma, won the cruiserweight title and has revealed himself as Santos Escobar. And the two masked kidnappers were apparently the kidnapped Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wild, which I honestly like this angle. I really do. I like this angle. Um, it's good to see these two again, and I really hope we get to see more of them and see this new Santos Escobar in action. So that's another stable. So this is really good. You know, I really like how they're doing with these other stables. You have that you have that other stable that's that stable with the Indian tag team. I think it was like Shere Khan or some weird name like that. I know I done butchered that, but yeah, managed by Stokely Halfwell, formerly Stokely Hathaway. I forgot what his name currently is now. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But we got that. We got that stable for tag team. Um, Still got the Undisputed Era, and it's just good to see a lot of these stables. You got Seth Rollins stable. You got what MVP has brewing with Bobby Lashley, which I honestly thought maybe the Street Profits were gonna turn heel and attack the Viking Raiders, but that didn't happen. But I really hope they build more stables and they actually do them right. I really do. So we'll see what happens. But Another thing that was on my mind was about the Undisputed Era in general. Uh, we all know there's going to come a time where either the Undisputed Era is going to get split or they're going to make way to the main roster at some point. And I'm very fearful of that because I have hope. I have hope that Adam Cole could make it well in the main roster, but I think there's a lot of speculation about with his size on if he could really be, the top champion. Which honestly, I don't let size be a factor. I mean, if anything, his notoriety and who he is and what he's done in the industry should be enough. I mean, what he's done in ROH, was part of the Bullet Club, what he's done in NXT. I mean, I think that speaks for itself. But I mean, you never know. You never know. Red Dragon, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly. I would hope they would get good treatment on the main roster, but I mean, I felt the same way about American Alpha, and look what happened to them. Same thing with the Ascension, and look what happened to them. And I can tell you right now, if the same happened to Red Dragon, I'd be mad. I'd be so mad. I would be so mad. But there's that. And then Roderick Strong. I mean, most I could see him end up being is a mid card, to be honest, on the main roster. So I don't know. I just really feel like, yeah, the Undisputed Era is here to stay for a while in NXT, but we all know at some point, they're going to have to get called up or broken up in some way, shape, or form. It's bound to happen. When? No idea. But it's bound to happen. But but yeah, those are just a few things sticking out to me. And then of course the whole thing with just the women's tag team championships. How they got put back on Sasha Banks and Bailey. What really bothered me about that is just the title run that Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss had. And just, it's another example why and how WWE doesn't do a good job of how they book most of their champions. Because you got to look at Cross and Bliss. They won those tag titles for the second time by defeating the Kabuki Warriors at WrestleMania. And then they had what, two successful title defenses, either one or two. No, two, because Kabuki Warriors had a rematch, and then they had the defense against Carmella and Dana Brooke. And then they've just been losing. Non-title tag team matches and singles matches once the Iconics return. And then they didn't get another victory again leading up to the title loss. And I just think that's garbage. It's like, I just don't really like how champions are booked. Like, the whole idea of a champion should be that they look strong at least up until the title defense, if it's to change hands or whatnot. But to have them lose matches just randomly, or just matches in a row, and they're supposed to be the champion, Like, it's ridiculous. It doesn't make them look strong. It doesn't make them look strong at all. And I can understand maybe an upset here or there, but it doesn't make sense for someone to get a win on them and then they're just thrusted immediately into a number one contender. You know, it's like folks nowadays in WWE, it's like they don't really earn wins. I'll give you an example. Look at AEW. Look at Hikaru Shida. Shida's record spoke for itself as to why she even got her title shot. She was ranked one. She maintained the best record in the rankings. Therefore, she got her title shot. And it just so happens to be that she got the victory and she's champion. You know, that's not to take anything away from Nyla Rose because I know, you know, she was pretty much out during the Exo Crisis, but at least she was still able to come back and get some wins leading up to the title defense, which she lost. But like, you know, at least the champions on AEW are booked like champions. John Moxley, you know, Kenny Omega, Adam Page, Hangman Page, Hikaru Shida. You know, now new TNT, inaugural TNT champion Cody Rhodes, or Cody. At least they're booked like champions. You know, they actually get victories. You know, they're booked strong. And I feel like currently, right now, in WWE, aside from Adam Cole, maybe Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre, especially Drew McIntyre, I feel like those are the only ones that are legit booked like champions. You know, Keith Lee is being booked like a champion, but WWE doesn't have a good history, especially within the last year or two or more, of how to correctly book their champions. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that. But it's good to see that the revival now FTR got picked up in AEW and looks like they're getting booked strong. So it's good to see that they got a new home. Deanna Perrazzo has a new home in Impact Wrestling, so that's good. So yeah, that didn't take too long. But and Drake Maverick is here in NXT to stay. So this is good. This is good. And hopefully NXT UK may eventually start back up. But oh, and of course, the best piece of news that came out is New Japan Pro Wrestling will be starting back up June 15th. And on June 16th, they're going to be kicking off their New Japan Cup tournament. Now, this New Japan Cup tournament will actually be open weight, not just for the heavyweights. So this will be interesting. And let's take a look at let's take a look at the bracket. Yeah, let me pull this bracket up for y'all. So, looking at the bracket, we got a ton of names on there, and the matchups look really interesting. We got Togi Makabe versus Yota Tsuji. Tomohiro Ishii, the Stone Pitbull, against El Desperado. That should be good. Toru Yano versus Jado. Tomaki Honma versus Hiromu Takahashi. The Time Bomb should be really good. Kazuchika Okada versus Geto. Oh, his former right wing man, his former hype man from Chaos. Should be interesting. Uh, Yuji Nagata versus Minoru Suzuki. I'm actually looking very forward to that one because those two go way back, and they're only about a year age difference apart. So that should actually be a really good match. Um, Yuya Umura and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Gabriel Kidd versus Bone Soldier Taichi Ishimori should be good. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Taichi. Ooh, this might be one where Taichi gets put over. Kota Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. Oh, that should be really good. Ryusuke Taguchi versus Sanada should be good. Sho versus Shingo Takagi. That actually has potential to be very hard hitting. Hiroyoshi Tenzan versus Yoshihashi. Oh, having one of the veterans perhaps put over Yoshihashi potentially. Yo versus Bushi. Oh, that should be interesting. Satoshi Kojima versus Evil. That should be hard hitting. And Hiroki Goto versus Yujiro Takahashi. Ooh, the Tokyo Pimp, Yujiro Takahashi. Which I'm a big Hiroki Goto fan. But this is great. This is a great bracket. Pretty stacked, too. So yeah, starts June 16th, and it will go all the way into July 11th, which apparently will be New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion. Not only that, that will invite fans back into the venues for live viewing. So that's cool. You know, they got a plan. They had their press conference. They got a plan in action to start hosting these shows and then eventually usher into allowing fans back into the building. So this is great for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So looking forward to it. So hope those out there are getting ready and have renewed their New Japan Pro Wrestling World subscriptions. I had mine the whole entire time, but yeah, about that time to get back into some New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm looking forward to it. Which also brings up my next point. Does this mean that maybe eventually Stardom will return to live shows as well? I mean, after all, Stardom is owned by Bushiroad, which owns New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll start back with that. Although I do wonder what's going to happen with the stable Tokyo Cyber Squad, because as everybody knows, you know, that's kept up with the passing of Hana Kimura. She rest in peace. Who was the leader of Tokyo Cyber Squad? Um, Honestly, it makes me wonder. Like, are they going to appoint a new leader, or are they going to disband the stable and come up with a new stable? Like, I'm kind of curious as what they might do. You know, I mean, that's something. Who knows? That might be something that they retire. You know, with the passing of Hana Kimura. I mean, after all, she was the leader. She was the leader. So maybe that Tokyo Cyber Squad, maybe that stable they'll retire, or they may appoint a new leader, or they may just start a brand new stable altogether. Which I mean, honestly, would be fine. So, uh, but yeah, and also you have Arisa Hoshiki, who unfortunately had to retire due to continuous head and neck injuries. She made a comeback, but it was pretty much short lived. But you know, she was able to win the Wonder of Stardom championship. You know, especially after she won I believe it was last year's Cinderella tournament. So so yeah, that title is gonna be vacant and up for grabs. But yeah, it's just a bummer because these ladies in Stardom are young. They're young, like still in their low to mid 20s. I think when Hazuki and Kagetsu retired, I think Hazuki was like maybe 23, 24, and Kagetsu was maybe 26, maybe 25. I could be wrong, but most of these ladies at Stardom are in their low to mid 20s. They're young. I think Starlight Kid is like maybe maybe 18, 19, something like that. But these ladies are young, and it's just unfortunate where they gotta retire early due to like injury, and then who knows? I mean, I guess Hazuki and Kagetsu are done, or they may go to another promotion. I mean, we don't know. We don't know, but it'll be interesting, and I hope Stardom will start back up as well because I enjoy Stardom a lot. I'm a big fan of Stardom. Would love to see a live show of Stardom, but yeah. So quite a lot going on with pro wrestling. I know that AEW. Oh my goodness, Double or Nothing was phenomenal. I enjoyed the mess out of AEW Double or Nothing. I It's been a long time since I've really like intently bought a pay per view, and I bought the pay per view Double or Nothing, and it was so worth it. Me and my dad watched it together. So worth it. One of the best pay per views I've ever watched to this day. And I haven't seen a whole I haven't seen as much consistently as I could, especially not until up to the WWE network and all these other streaming channels happen. I mean, because before I mostly relied on friends for those that had the setups or had ordered the pay-per-views. Um, but yeah, definitely one of the best ones that I've seen and have no problem with the money spent toward it. So kudos to AEW on delivering an excellent pay-per-view in Double or Nothing. That Stadium Stampede match was one for the ages. Very action-packed and very much entertaining. So I really like what AEW has been doing. There's still some things that they can work on as well, but they're doing some great things. They're really doing some great things. And we got Fighter Fest coming up. We got All In coming up. So I mean, there's a lot to look forward to with pro wrestling. I mean, we got Backlash coming up, and then I think we got Extreme Rules, and then SummerSlam. And I'm sure there'll be. I believe there's Takeover Boston SummerSlam weekend. So there's a lot to look forward to. I think just pro wrestling in general, especially and with New Japan coming back, that's really gonna bring in some more eyes. So it's exciting. It's definitely exciting. There's quite a bit going on, and yeah, it's really cool. Um, I'll leave with this one note. Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, the Queen. Anybody getting sick and tired of her? I know I am. But nah. Let me be more specific. I like Charlotte Flair as a wrestler. She's a great wrestler. She's the real deal, no doubt. Flair or not, she's a great wrestler. But she's hogging way too much of the spotlight, especially when it comes to main event matches and pay per views and title shots and stuff like that. And it's already bad enough that she's going to be pretty much going to be back in the title picture again with Raw champion Asuka. And we all know that Asuka hasn't been able to beat Charlotte Flair. And pretty much Charlotte Flair is Asuka's kryptonite. And I am not confident that any of that will change anytime soon. I'm just not that confident. You know? So it's only a matter of time before Charlotte Flair surpasses her father, Ric Flair. It's only a matter of time. I believe she's at what, 12-time champion? I believe. So, I mean, it really won't be long. I just really, and not to mention she doesn't do a good job of selling, and she'll just floor anybody she's in the ring with. And just when it comes to building up the other ladies, she shuts it down. She just shuts it down. So I just really hope they kind of tone that down at some point. But you know, that's Vince McMahon's golden child, Charlotte Flair. That's the main highlight. And it's kind of rough too, especially considering the fact that you know, Becky Lynch is going to be out for a long while, you know, since she's going to start a family. So yeah, that and they can't seem to figure out what they want to do with Shayna Baszler, which is ridiculous. How the heck you book somebody to obliterate everybody at Elimination Chamber? She gets a title shot, loses, you know, has like a match or two, and then just gets sent into obscurity. Like, I don't get that, but whatever. That's WWE for you. But anyway, that's all. That's all that I have. That's all I really wanted to talk about. Um, what are y'all's thoughts? Like, with what's going on, like, what are y'all looking most forward to? Are y'all excited about the return of New Japan Pro Wrestling? What do you think about what's going on with, you know, AEW? Did y'all see Double or Nothing? Did y'all enjoy that? WWE, you know, how did y'all like take over in your house? Are you looking forward to Backlash? But let me know what y'all's thoughts are. And thank y'all so much for watching. This is Blitzball Champ signing off. Everybody have a blessed week. Peace.